This is your Weather Xtreme video for Sunday, August the 7th. I'm ABC 3340 meteorologist Brian Peters. Satellite image shows we have a few clouds left over from all the convection that went on yesterday. Convection was pretty isolated in the eastern half of the state and a little more scattered to numerous in the western parts of the state. And those thunderstorms yesterday were very hot with lots of tremendous lightning. Surface map this morning, I sort of disagree with their location of the front. I think the front's just about impossible to find, but the WPC guys are showing the front across central Alabama. Like I say, I think it's pretty hard to find. There was some fog over the Tennessee River Valley, and that is at least one way to try to identify where the front is. The upper air pattern features this little disturbance, this little weakness in the upper air pattern, a low over the northeast Gulf of Mexico. And that feature is actually going to be the predominating feature in our weather for the next week. And that should keep showers and thunderstorms fairly numerous with lots of clouds as well, helping to keep temperatures down. Temperatures this morning starting out around the 75-degree mark for most locations in central Alabama. Just a little bit cooler up in the Tennessee River Valley, but only by a couple of degrees. Radar clear this morning. But don't expect it to stay that way too long as we head into the late morning and early afternoon hours. The watch warning map features that orange area over parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Arkansas is a heat advisory. We have heat warnings in the northern Rockies. It's the pink areas. And the green areas in the north and South Carolina, the dark green, are flash flood watches. The lighter green in Georgia is a hydrologic outlook. They're looking at the possibility of some significant rains over the next several days. QPF chart just shows that we're looking at tremendous rains as a result of that system in the northeast Gulf over the next 5 days. This is through next Friday morning. So it looks like on the order of 1 to 2 across the northern third of Alabama, 2 to 4, maybe 5 across the central part of the state, and above 5 across the southern parts of the state. We'll have to definitely be watchful for flash flood issues. Storm Prediction Center has a slight risk in parts of western Montana for today, with a marginal risk extending down across the eastern slopes of the Rockies into Oklahoma and southern Kansas. For day 2, there's a marginal risk primarily in the north central U.S., and then for day 3, they do have a slight risk in the parts of North and South Dakota, along with an area of marginal risk that extends over into Montana. Tropics remain relatively quiet. We do have 2 areas of disturbed weather being watched, but neither of these is anticipated to become a tropical weather system in the near future. The eastern North Pacific, we have 11E, which is an area of disturbed weather, and that could be a tropical system here in the not-too-distant future. And then we have Yvette way out, away from land. All right, the 06E GFS model run. There's our 500 millibar pattern for today, and we basically have the ridge just to our west, but we're also dealing with this weakness, and it is just that. It's just a weakness, so it's going to be hard to follow. I think today showers and thunderstorms will probably be fairly numerous, certainly in the forecast going with likely. So I think many of us could get wet. And one of the things that's interesting is on the 0Z sounding last night from the Shelby County Airport, the precipitable water value actually measured in at 2.16. And the GFS suggesting that precipitable water values later on today, this would be valid today at 18Z. This is over 2 inches over just about all of the state of Alabama. Monday, the little weakness is still there. The weakness over the Bahamas has moved closer to the east coast of Florida, but we still have this weakness in the Gulf that is expected to meander around, and that is producing a good number of showers across the southeastern U.S. Tuesday, the weakness is a little harder to find, but it's still there, and as a result, we're looking at a good deal of showers and thunderstorms to be forecast. And checking in on the precipitable water values, and I'm not going to do the precipitable water values every time frame, but they're always high for the next week or so, at least 5 to 7 days. And here we are Tuesday, the 9th of August, and those values are over 2 inches over all of the state of Alabama. Wednesday, the weakness a little easier to spot as we see a little indentation in the 594 contour. And Thursday, it's still there, not again as easy to identify, but still kind of between the two 594 contours. So it's still there and certainly showing up with lots of showers over the southeastern U.S. And once again, precipitable water values. Wow, these are really off the charts because some of those values in the southern part of the state are approaching 3 inches of precipitable water. That is just unheard of. Friday, the weakness still identifiable there, now over the mouth of the Mississippi River or approaching the mouth of the Mississippi River. Saturday, it's still there and still helping to produce showers and thunderstorms. So we see that on the surface map. The surface map also showing the possibility that we may see a front coming in from the north. And that would certainly add fuel to this fire and help to keep showers pretty numerous. We see a slight troughiness in the upper air pattern by Sunday, a week from today, but the weakness that we've been watching over the southeastern U.S. is still there, so becoming a broken record. And you can see the front lying across Tennessee and Kentucky and into Arkansas, not quite reaching down this way, so it looks like even next weekend we should still be fairly wet. And considering the fact that our drought values are at least in some degree of drought over the northern 2/3 of the state, we can certainly use an extended period with more numerous showers and thunderstorms. Looking out into Voodoo Country, the 16th of August, the GFS has the ridge building back, the 594 height contour there, and the ridge really bulging up into the Great Lakes area over the eastern half of the country. The ridge is still the prevailing feature that we see around the 18th of August, but it has moved a little west. We're more or less on the eastern periphery of the ridge at this time, but the GFS still holding on to the idea that we could see a fairly stout trough come across the flow, and that could bring a bit of drier and cooler air with a cold front down into the area. This is a little bit different than the time frame yesterday. So the GFS not completely consistent on the time frame, but consistent on bringing this kind of feature in. So we'll have to watch that and certainly be hopeful. That'll do it for the Weather Extreme video for this morning. James Spann should have the next edition first thing on Monday morning. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for notes on Alabama's changing weather. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great Sunday and Godspeed.